Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurion's Review, the punk rock band of war game review institutions. Here I have Outpost Gamma, a game of man-to-man combat on a colonial world of the far future. I think this was from the 1970s. It's from Dwarf Star Games, which is a division of Heritage. Here's the good news. Well, we'll start with the bad news. The bad news is copies of this game and all the other games from Dwarf Star are going for outrageous prices on eBay. Here's the good news. You don't have to pay that. Let me explain why. Reaper Miniatures now holds the license for Heritage, and which includes the license for Dwarf Star Games, and they have decided to let anyone who wishes print their own PDF copies of the different Dwarf Star games. You can go to a website called dwarfstar.brainiac.com. I'll put a link to it in the description, and download PDFs or JPEGs of all these different games from Dwarf Star and build your own copies. It's just for personal use. You can't sell them or anything, but that's really nice of Reaper to let everyone build their own copies. So let's see what this is about. 10 troopers against hundreds. On a colonial world of the far future, 10 hard-pressed Imperial troopers in mobile battle armor desperately defend their base against mass assaults by hundreds of primitive alien natives, rushing to attack under the cover of violent energy storms. The Imperial troopers have the latest and advanced weaponry, high-mobility pulsar units in their armor, and the support of 2 heavy weapons specialists. But the native Erdans have sheer numbers, unwavering courage, and their greatest ally, the hostile environment of their home planet. Against odds of 50 to 1, will sophisticated technology be enough to save the beleaguered garrison at Outpost Gamma? Sounds a little like Starship Troopers. It says game level is introductory, intermediate, and contains a booklet, map, and 154 counters, dice, and rule book. So let's take a look inside and see what's in here. Still got the original dice. That's good. I will end up owning all these physical copies because I collect these, but like I said, anyone else, if you just want to play them, just download the PDFs and build them and play it. So let's take a look at the counters. Counters actually, yeah, they're alright for the 1970s. Got counters for the different guys. Disruption, fortified, improved. Interesting. Little, is this? Yeah, a little advertisement here for their other games. That's cool. And map looks like it's kind of cardboard, a cardboard material. Don't see those very often for micro games. This is the first one I've seen in a while with a hard map. I've seen a few with mounted maps like those Avalon Hill game mets, which were reprints of OS Operational Studies Group's games, but yeah, it looks okay. Looks like an alien world with some terrain and stuff. Got a turn record track here. It's talking about something about reinforcements here. Scenario 1 ends there, scenario 2 ends there, so there's more than one scenario. That's good. Here's a little dice that came with. Let's take a look in the rule booklet, see what we have here. Rule booklet is 24 pages. On the back it's got the combat results table, a storm appearance table, and a storm direction and magnitude table. So it looks like storms are pretty important in this game. So it's starting out with fluff information. They call it historical information about the native Erdans and the Legionnaires. So there's the Erdans. They look kind of like a little bit like skinnies from Starship Troopers. And it's going over the planet and the storms, Outpost Gamma. So the actual rules start on page 5. So it's got a pretty good introduction to the storyline. So it looks like top right corner is range, top left unit identification, attack strength, defense strength, and movement allowance. And it's talking about the other counters. And it's got a glossary of terms. Looks like they did a good job in the rule book. And here's the scenarios. Scenario 1, the last outpost. Scenario 2, evacuation. If you get bored of those two, I'm sure you could write your own scenarios also. Here's a sequence of play. Energy storm phase followed by a disruption fire phase. Followed by the Erden movement phase, then Erden combat, then Erden stun recovery phase, then Imperial minor movement phase, Imperial minor combat phase, remove disruption markers, Imperial legionnaire stun recovery phase, and end the game turn. And then it's talking here about the storms, disruption fire, movement, terrain effects on movement. Was there a terrain effects chart anywhere here? Nope. I guess it's all written in text, the terrain effects. And then combat. Back then, a lot of games didn't have terrain effect charts. They just wrote it in the rules. I prefer the charts, personally. Terrain and firing. Close combat. Terrain and close combat. Combined fire and close assault. Special rules improved and fortified positions. Optic sighting, Erden leaders. Oh, it does have a terrain effects chart. That's good. It's on the inside back cover. Very good. Anyhow, it looks interesting. Kind of reminds me of like Ship Troopers movies. I forget which one it was, where you're stuck in the base and you're being attacked by millions of insects, but instead of insects, you're being attacked by some other type of alien here. But that should be pretty cool. Anyhow, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please click like on it. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. And as always, have a good evening.